importance of setting goals. Now it's how do I clearly define my goals? Hello everyone and welcome back to Adulting Done Right. My name is Ginger.
I'm Kevin.
And we are here as Adulting Done Right to help share our experiences and guide you through this crazy world known as adulting.
Yep.
Essentially. Subscribe and you will get 2 videos a week from us. We upload on Wednesdays and Fridays. And that allows you to kind of stay up to date with what we're doing and sharing our experiences with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
In our last video, we talked about the importance of setting goals. Today, we're actually going to go into
why you should define your goals.
Yes, why you should define your goals and how to clearly define your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Because defining your goals really...
It helps you visualize and simulate in your head what achieving that goal will be like.
Yes, and that will make you more excited to actually work toward achieving that goal.
Mm-hmm.
So that is probably one of the biggest things that I can say has been helpful for me, is learning how to more clearly define my goals. And when I was just graduating school, or when I was in school, my goal was to graduate.
Yes.
Right? And it was a very broad goal. I really didn't care at a certain point what degree I graduated with. I just wanted to finish.
Yes.
And which may or may not be the best goal to have. Yes, to finish school, but it's better to clearly define that goal, and it's something that I wish I would have learned earlier.
Yes, and just to kind of go with the graduation thing, you know, setting yourself a broad goal like that, you know, you have something to attain.
Mm-hmm.
But see, if you did something like, I want to graduate with a 3.5 GPA with honors, or summa cum laude, or I don't know what the designations are.
Mm-hmm. With a degree in
blah blah blah, you know, XYZ. That will really help you achieve what you're looking for, because you framed it in your head. You know what it looks like in your head. You've given your brain that mental ammunition to imagine and put yourself in said position. Exactly.
And the more, like we said, the more clearly you can define your goal, the more likely you are to achieve it, because you can then, your brain can process the steps that you need to get to that goal.
Exactly.
It helps you, if you remember the last video, it helps you create the route.
Yes, exactly. Well, and also, you know, some again, with the goals, which we didn't mention in the previous episode, you gotta be flexible with yourself to an extent. And sometimes, again, some of the most rewarding things in life will be probably some of the most arduous things that you will go through. So,
and it'll probably be along the route to that ultimate goal.
Yes, so don't let if you're not going, you know, you're achieving it in your quickest manner, don't let that deter you from ultimately reaching the goal.
Exactly. So now that you know you clearly need to define your goals, and remember to be as specific as you can, because that gives you, you know, if you think back to SMART goals, right? Your goal needs to be specific, it needs to be attainable, it needs to be measurable, you know, there needs to be time specific.
A timeline.
Exactly. All of those things help you create that clear visual mental picture, which will ultimately help you and motivate you to get to that goal. But, you know, you may be thinking, well, like, I don't even know where to start. Like, what goals do I set for myself, right?
Yep.
And there are 5 main areas I find, and probably that you'll find most people talk about that.
I think that they all everybody kind of falls into these 5.
Yeah. Well, these 5 main, we'll call them pillars, these 5 main pillars in life really affect human happiness.
Yes.
And they are the things that will have the greatest impact on your overall joy and happiness in life.
Yes.
So those 5 pillars are: 1,
health
and well-being. 2, career. 3,
wealth.
With which you may think, why aren't career and wealth together?
Not always synonymous.
No. 4, relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 is personal growth and spirituality.
Yes.
So for health and well-being, your overall health and well-being are going to be one of the most important things that are going to help you, 1, live a full life and a healthy life, but then also help. If you're not healthy and if you don't take care of yourself, you're not really going to be able to show up in all of the other areas of life and truly achieve your goals.
The health one will help mitigate that regret down the road.
Yeah, yes, that too. But the health, I can't stress how much of an important aspect of your life and your overall satisfaction will be.
Mm-hmm.
So, next pillar was career.
Career now, again, I guess we'll start with why is career and wealth separate? Let's first say that career and wealth are not always synonymous.
Yes.
Some people have careers that give them a lot of fulfillment in life, and they enjoy what they do, but they do not make a lot of money.
And not everybody's goal may be to make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Wealth can look like many different things. It can be having what you need.
Yes, exactly.
Or it could be, for other people, maybe making a certain amount of money per year.
Yes, I mean it can be a variety of different things.
Mm-hmm.
With career goals are very those are very tailor made to the individual and to what you're wanting to achieve.
Absolutely.
I think the first and best thing is to look, assuming you are doing what you love to do, you have to ask yourself, where can I be? And this is the stupid question, I guess, all interviews. Where will you be in 5 years from now?
Yeah, yes.
And you can, I feel like everybody, once you get into the career, into that world of the big machine of careers and working for the man or whatever, maybe you're doing it yourself, you have to sit there and say, okay, who is somebody I look up to, and where are they? How did they get there? And that can kind of reverse engineer you into where you want to be.
Yes, I agree. Some of you may have things that you want to accomplish, whether maybe it's you want to write a book, or maybe it's you want to start your own business, right? Starting your own business is the beginning of defining your goal, but that is not the ultimate goal. Because you really need, in order for that to be your true goal, you have to clearly define it, right? You have to go into what kind of business you want to start, what value you want to provide.
After you start the business, an easy one, you could say, I want to target this much revenue a year, and I want to have this many employees or no employees, and I want to have this much profit.
Yes.
Those are easy, like if you're the business owner, easy things for us to give you examples of.
Things to help you define, to then further define the overall goal of, I want to start a business. Okay. Well, as you said, how many employees do I want to have? How much money do I want to generate a year? What is the specific business idea?
Yeah.
You can't just say, I want to start a business and not know what service or value the business is going to be providing. Like, think about your niche market.
Yep.
Or what your niche in the marketplace is.
Then the next one we go into, I believe, wealth. Which wealth is fairly simple, at least to me, because we're talking about individuals, and I'm not trying to broad view this. An easy one you can say, I want to max out assuming you're at a company that offers a 401k.
Yeah.
I'd like to max out my 401k per year.
But again, when you're writing down or when you're clearly defining this goal, put in what the max is for said company. Write the company's name. Like, all of these things you should do to help you clearly define this goal. Exactly.
I mean, for those Excel geniuses out there, start plugging it in and say, I'm going to be here in 4 months and I'm going to have this much money in the 401k. Or even that can even go to just a savings account.
Oh, yeah.
You can say, I'm going to save this much money for XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
And those things again, the structure of them, and when you encounter adversity, it'll really help you, give you a guiding point to hone in on.
Absolutely.
Because you could get hit with some car payments, or not car expenses,
Maintenance,
home repairs, all sorts of things. And when you have the budgets in place, when you have the money, then you're prepared for these situations. You have that little fund for the unexpected things in life.
Yes. And wealth really ties into budgeting, and one of the things that we'll do in a later episode, it'll actually dive into establishing a budget, how you do go about that to reach your goals, whether it's goals in career, goals in wealth, goals in personal development, whichever arena your goal falls into, it's more than likely going to be tied to some sort of money in some way. And that, I think, brings us to 4, which is relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this one, I think is a little bit harder to define.
Yes, I'd say so.
I think, it's harder to be specific, but I can say that it gets easier the more once you focus in on relationships. Like, let's say it's your significant other, right? Your goal, or a goal that you may have, may be to become a better communicator with your partner.
Yes.
Right. But you have to clearly define, what is it about communicating that you need to become, or you want to become better at? Is it that you argue, or that you maybe don't listen?
Yes, and I mean, you can always start with something, maybe you're looking at things maybe you guys don't like, and maybe it can be communication. That's an easy way to start identifying maybe a relationship goal. You can start looking at the things that you don't like, not necessarily trying to change the person, but you want to change as a unit.
Yes.
And the goal would be is like, if it's communication, or if it's empathy, or
There are a lot of different things that affect your relationships, and the reason that we included relationships in this is because ultimately the relationships that you have in life are going to help propel you forward. If you remember from the myths video, which we'll link in the description box if you haven't seen it, but we talked about this idea of people don't care about you until you provide value. And you need to figure out how to provide value to people, because that's ultimately what's going to help propel you forward in life. So relationships is one of those areas that, though it may seem at certain times not a priority, it really is.
At a certain point in time, you'll probably say, well, it's not that big of a deal. I'm out here doing my thing, just grinding, working hard.
Yes.
But I guarantee you, I hate the adage of it, but it really is at times who you know.
Yes.
And that can really play a huge factor in what you achieve in life. Because, once you start connecting with people, it's amazing some of the things that those people will aspire to. And when you link with those people, it can really propel you again to the next stages of life, to where you're on the other end.
Right, and they can even just be like, again, they can propel you forward just being a mentor to you. Maybe somebody that you look up to, or somebody that you admire, the things that they've accomplished in life, the way that they interact with people, whatever it may be. But, you want to try and emulate those things, or those qualities in people that you admire, because that is ultimately, you want to pick kind of the best pieces.
Yes.
And try and kind of build the best version of yourself ultimately. You don't necessarily want to, I heard something that was very interesting today. And it's, I don't want to spend, you go through a period where you spend your time trying to be like other people.
Yes.
But then once you start gaining those qualities and those skills, you then want to become, it's less about being this other person, right? Like Michelle Obama or Jennifer Lopez or Beyonce or whomever it may be, right? But then it becomes about being the best version of yourself.
Yes, I would agree with you. I mean, at a certain point, especially in adolescence, there's that group mentality. You want everybody to like you, and then eventually, as you grow older, you begin to. It's not that I would say you begin to care less, but maybe it is you don't care less. You just more focused on being the best person you can be.
Yes, and that's really the important piece, which really brings us to the fifth and final topic or area or pillar that you should establish goals for. But that's yourself, personal growth and spirituality, right? And that may look different. It may be in both of those for you, but you should really, we mentioned in one of our other videos that life and learning go hand in hand, and you never stop learning. You should always want to continue to be that sponge and improve. And there are different goals that you can set for yourself to make sure that you continue to do that.
Yes.
And an example would be, and it may be something, it may seem like something small, but, one of my own goals for myself is, I'll share a couple with you. But one is, I'm constantly in search of knowledge. There are tons of people that I admire, and I want to read about what they have to share. So I've created a goal for myself to read a new book a month. And I have a list of books that I keep on my phone, and I just kind of cross them off one at a time as I finish them. And that way, I keep track. I already know what my next book is going to be, and it's something that helps me, again, continue to grow and gain knowledge.
For personal development, you can sit there and say, there's a lot of skill sets. Easily one that can come off the top of my head could be programming languages.
Yeah.
From Python to CSX to HTML. Those things are easy to say that once I have those skills, my worth and value to society has definitely increased. Because just the ability, the tools that you have now at your disposal to do things. The same thing could be for project managers. You really want to see a seasoned veteran kind of go in there and do it, so you can really kind of understand the tactics and the skills they use, and kind of the negotiation, and just all of the cunning that kind of comes along with it.
Yeah. Well, and think about this. Think about it this way. I think this is really actually a good way of thinking about it. But think about how many people are in your were in your graduating class. Think about how many are in your same major, right, or field of study. Then think about all of the other schools, right, that are in the country and across the world that offer the same degree program. In theory, all of you have the same skills.
Yes.
But what sets you apart? It's not your ability to do the task itself. It's all of the other things that actually will set you apart and will dictate your value, right? You need to bring value to the marketplace, and that's really what determines how much essentially you get paid and how much you'll earn, is really the value you bring to the marketplace. And that skill set that you graduate school with, that thousands of other people, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people across the country over the years have learned, doesn't give you that value. So to wrap this up and kind of tie everything back together, remember, how you set your goals really and how you define your goals really kind of sets the stage. It's important to set goals, but it's important to clearly define your goals.
And again, that helps your mind mentally simulate yourself when the goal is achieved. You can see yourself, if you ask yourself, what would this look like if I achieved this? And then your head can just start going with the, your imagination can just run wild with what you can achieve. And
then you get excited about. So the first step is to clearly define your goals. And then the areas that you define your goal is really up to you. But the 5 main ones that kind of, affect...
We just find that those 5 main ones are kind of general, that everybody kind of places goals in
Right.
Maybe unknowingly.
Unknowingly, but they're the 5 main areas that really affect overall happiness in the majority of people. And that is health and well-being, your career, your wealth, relationships, and your personal growth and spirituality.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember to subscribe for 2 videos a week. We upload every Wednesday and Friday. Also,
please give us a like down in the bottom corner.
Yes. Make sure you share it with your friends. If you know somebody that happens to be going through the same struggles that you may be going through, or having the same kind of curiosities or frustrations that you may be experiencing, share it with them. That way you at least have somebody that you can go through this journey with together. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Oh,
what?
I thought you were going to say yeah.
Thank you so much for watching.